Hey Shark fans, it's Melinda Marsalis. Welcome to Heard It on the Shark. I'll be your show host, and Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area is your show sponsor. Heard It on the Shark is a weekly interview show that airs every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on the Shark 102.3 FM radio station based in Ripley, Mississippi. Then it's released as a podcast on all the major podcast platforms. You'll hear interviews with the movers and shakers in North Mississippi who are making things happen. I'll talk to entrepreneurs, leaders of business, medicine, education, and the people behind all the amazing things happening in North Mississippi. When people ask you, how did you know about that? You'll say, I heard it on the Shark. Heard It on the Shark is brought to you by the Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area. We want you to get out and discover the historic, cultural, natural, scenic, and recreational treasures of the Mississippi Hills that are right in your backyard. And of course, we want you to take the Shark 102.3 FM along for the ride. Musical credit belongs to Hill Country Blues guitar legend Gary Burnside and the late great Buddy Grisham, playing Long Way Home from their album Acoustic Brothers, which was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
This program was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
Hey, Shark fans, it's Melinda with another episode of Heard It on the Shark. And today in Sun Bear Studio, I have with me Miss Suzanne Rolison, who is one of the band directors at Ripley High School and the entire Ripley Band program, which goes all the way down to 6th grade. Suzanne, thanks for coming over today.
Well, thank you for having us.
Now, Suzanne, you must feel like you've gotten out of the crazy house for a minute. I used to be at the middle school. I know how it is.
Yes, it's always nice to leave the band land. I call it band land. So, because we have our own little building there and we just live in it. And it's like, it's nice to get out of band land every once in a while.
Absolutely. And remember that there's a great big world out there.
Yes. You see like people and doing like real things, like, you know, normal life things. You're like, oh, that's what happens at 2:00 on a Monday, you know?
Outside of Bandland.
Yes.
All right, but you're here today really to invite us all to come to Bandland.
Yes, I would love to invite you all to come to our middle school concert, which is March 18th at 6:30 in the Event Center. That's going to be grades 6 through 8 playing that evening.
And in Ripley, the bands there, it's not 6 through 8, there's one band, right?
No.
It's a 6th grade band, a 7th grade.
Well, actually, we've done something different the last 2 years. We have a beginner band, which is just 6th grade. And then at the conclusion of your 6th grade year and your 7th grade year and really your 8th grade year, we all have auditions. So then you either go into the gold band or the black band in middle school. So those are mixed bands. So that evening, you'll have 6th grade band, gold band, and black band performing.
Well, that's very clever.
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea. Okay, and so let's just talk about not the concert exactly, but the band program. So what happens in 5th or 6th grade? How do you get started in band?
So in 5th grade in the spring, we'll do a recruiting like little tour, we call it. And I'll have them all come to the band hall and we talk about all the great things and I show them all the things that we do. And then they can sign up for band. We do a little test just to kind of hear, you know, see where they're at with their rhythms and their hearing of notes and things. And then 6th grade, they start band. So we take them from scratch. Now you're going to have some kids that, oh, I play piano or I can play guitar. So they kind of know a little bit of musical knowledge. But for the most part, they come to us knowing nothing. And we teach them how to read. We teach them how to play. We teach them all the things. And we do a small Christmas concert in the 6th grade. And then in the spring, we play like real big, long pieces of music. And it's kind of cool to watch their growth from the September or August when we begin learning fundamentals, September when we kind of get instruments, to May at the end of the year. It's a really enormous amount of growth that they have.
It truly is. I've watched it. Like I said, I was at the middle school for a long time, and it always was amazing to me. These children that, like you said, most don't read music at all, and it's like a foreign language. Mm-hmm. You have to completely get where you can decipher all these scribbles and make it make sense.
Yes.
And they do that so well in just 1 year.
They do. Now, we are constantly asking them questions and prompting them and saying, hey, tell us. So, because, you know, you just don't want them to forget. And then we're always working on their hand-eye coordination with reading music. So it's a constant work, but it's pretty cool to see what they do.
How do they choose their instrument in 6th grade?
Well, we test them on all the instruments. And I like to test them on 3 things. 1, are you physically fit? can you physically fit the instrument? Like, I'm not a big gal, so I don't need to be playing a tuba. A tuba for me wouldn't be an easy thing to maneuver around all the day. So I look at the kid and be like, are you going to grow into that? Can you handle that? Is that physically going to fit the instrument? The second thing is, do they like it? Because if they don't like it, they won't stick with it. So we kind of ask them, well, what is your preference? What are you liking? Talk to us about that. And then the third thing we like to pick on is the needs of the program. We can't have a band of 60 and 30 of them be drummers. We kind of have to share the love. We got to have some flutes. We got to have some clarinets. We got to have some tubas. We got to have all the things to make it sound like it's supposed to sound.
I would have to imagine that in all that choosing, there's a lot of parents who have reasons to want their kids to play this or that, and you probably have to fight against that too.
Well, yes, but we have really good parents in the Ripley Band program. But, when we explain, there's not been many times when that happens, but we explain, hey, their embouchure is just not working for that, and it's really a struggle for them. They were really successful in this, and the parent kind of sees, hey, let me do what's best for the kid and go that route. So just good conversation and communication with the parents really helps that. But we haven't had that a lot. It's been nice.
I like that band begins in middle school when life is so hard, their social life is so hard, and they're just trying to grow up into good adults. And band, I feel like, is a really positive influence on so many kids in middle school.
It is, and it's very diverse. We have all kinds. We have the athletes, we have the exceptionally smart kids, we have the artistic kids, we have the quiet kids, we have the outgoing kids, we have all the personalities in band, and they all work together to make one sound and one program. And it is really cool to watch that because we're all supportive of one another and we clap and we cheer each other on. And it's a really inviting, warm family environment for them.
I heard a quote a week or so ago. Somebody said, when people sing together, it's like their hearts get together before their brains are able to. So I think it's the same with band.
It absolutely is.
Yep, I love it. So tell a little bit about the concert and what people are going to hear and how they go. Do they have to pay to get in? That sort of thing.
You don't have to pay to get in. It's going to be at 6:30 at the Ripley Event Center. You just come on in and the beginning band will start. They'll play 2 to 3 pieces and then the black band will start or play and they'll play 2 to 3 pieces and then the gold band will play 3 pieces and they're playing their pieces for their contest, which is 2 days after their concert. So after that, they're going to go down to Ridgeland High School and do a contest at Ridgeland High School. So it's pretty cool.
Okay, and it's at the event center,
yes,
so
ma'am.
There's plenty of seating.
Plenty of seating.
Okay, say it one more time, the date, the time, and where.
It is going to be March 18th at 6:30 at the Ripley Event Center.
Okay, Suzanne, thanks so much for stopping
y'all.
by. All right, Shark fans, that's it for this edition of Heard It on the Shark. Tune in every Tuesday at 11 a.m. to find out what's happening with local community leaders. If you have a question, comment, or suggestion for an interview, or if you want access to this interview, go to our website, shark1023.com, and click on the podcast tab. Keep it tuned to the Shark 1023 and have a great rest of the day.
The Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area was established by the United States Congress in 2009 and represents a distinctive cultural landscape shaped by the dynamic intersection of Appalachian and Delta cultures. This intersection has produced a powerful concentration of nationally significant cultural icons, including King of Rock and Roll Elvis Presley, First Lady of Country Music Tammy Wynette, blues legend Howlin' Wolf, civil rights icons Ida B. Wells Barnett and James Meredith, America's favorite playwright Tennessee Williams, and Nobel laureate William Faulkner. The stories of the Mississippi Hills are many and powerful, from music and literature to Native American and African American heritage to the Civil War. The Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area supports the local institutions that preserve and share Northeast Mississippi's rich heritage. Begin your discovery of the historic, cultural, natural, scenic, and recreational treasures of our region by visiting the Mississippi Hills National Heritage Area online at mississipphills.org.
This show is made possible by JC Media, LLC in Ripley, Mississippi. JC Media owns the Shark 102.3 Classic Rock FM radio station where the show is hosted, and Sun Bear Recording Studio where the interviews are recorded. We need your feedback and support. If you listen to the podcast on a player like iTunes, Google Podcasts, or Amazon Music, please subscribe to the show and leave us a review. We also have an email in which you can share your feedback. That email is theshark1023@gmail.com. Subscribe to our podcast on your favorite app or stream episodes online at shark1023.com. facebook.com/podcast. Today's episode was produced by Melinda Marsalis. It was edited by Rick Williams and engineered by Chris Marsalis. The podcast technician is Joyce Grady.